So today, guys, I'm doing a video about life insurance and the importance of life insurance. A lot of us have absolutely no life insurance, and we think that, that's something that's going to happen later in life, maybe when we get older. But the reality is, we never know when something is going to happen to us. Now, here at Bumblebee Dispatch, we're basically a one-stop shop in the trucking industry. So we try to provide as many benefits as possible to our truckers and their family. Now, life insurance is available for anyone, and we can, give anyone a quote. However, it is very important that our truckers, obtain some form of life insurance. It's always better to be prepared. So I'm looking at a few articles online, and basically you can see here on this video, I just went to Google and typed in how much does the average funeral cost. Now, if you look at the box below next to the calculator, you'll see the average funeral costs between $7,000 and $10,000. Now, I will tell you that is going to be just a basic funeral. And again, you could go to Google and you can research this for yourself as well. So what happens is, if something happens to you and you don't have life insurance, you're going to leave that burden onto your family, whether it's your wife, your parents, your kids, and so forth. So they're going to try to find out, how are we going to get this money to have your burial? It's very important to have life insurance. And I'll share my story with you a little bit later once, we get towards the end of the video. Okay, so we have another website here, this is the Ohio insurance.ohio.gov. And so basically, life insurance can help replace your income. It also can reduce the financial burden on your family if they have to continue without you. So let's just say you're owner operator, you have your own trucking company, and you're married and your wife doesn't work and you have kids. Well, they're dependent on your income. Not only is your family dependent on your income, but you have business expenses. So if something happens to you where you're taken out of the home, what is your wife and kids going to do? Yes, they could get a job, but they're going to need something immediately to replace your income because you've been paying the bills, taking care of the kids, and so forth. So life insurance can help replace your income. For example, let's say you're making $100,000 a year and something happens to you, then you can do $100,000 policy or $200,000. Whatever you think would be suitable to help your family, also for your burial if something happens. It can also put your kids through school. If something was to happen, before your kids was able to go to college, you had a life insurance policy, it could help put your kids through school. Again, you can pay the mortgage off, car note, or any other debt that you may leave behind for your spouse to deal with or take care of. Again, as we talked about earlier, it will pay your funeral expenses and so forth. So again, if you want to research this article comes from the insurance.ohio.gov. You can basically, get more information there. And we're on another website, which is payoff.com. And in this article, again, they're talking about life insurance to protect your family and loved ones. Again, they depend on you for your financial support. If something happens, you need a backup plan. And you don't wait until the last minute. I've seen in several situations where someone passed, and it can get very ugly very fast. Also, it's important to have a will. I know a lot of us don't think about this, but a will is also very important. That way, you can specify what you want to happen with your assets. Okay? Again, to pay off debts, to add more financial security, Now, I want to get into the life expectancy of a trucker or a truck driver, a commercial truck driver. On this article, and up here is the website or the top of the page, truck-drivers-money-saving-tips.com, where they talk about the life expectancy of a truck driver. And the life expectancy is actually 61. Let me see. Let me go over one more. Sorry. Okay. So if we Google the average age of death for a truck driver, we see it's 61. Now, that will have a lot to do with having a hereditary lifestyle where basically you're sitting, so you're not getting that circulation, blood clots and so forth. So it's very important, even though you're on the road and you're driving, it's very important to get some type of exercise in. Try to incorporate exercise when you back up to the dock and you're getting loaded. Maybe just start walking around the dock parking lot when you're getting unloaded, to get some exercise in. Maybe at night when you're at the truck stop and, you're going to sleep right before you go to bed, just get out and walk the parking lot of the truck stop for 30 to 45 minutes. That is absolutely better than doing nothing. When you're doing nothing, that is not good. So the life expectancy for a truck driver you see here, and this is on Google, 61 years. That is very early. Not to say that we don't have truckers 70 or older, but this is just the life expectancy. Okay. In this article, you also can see the commercial truck driving is the 9th deadliest job, okay, mainly due to work-related incidences. Again, heart complications, blood clots, and everything else with having that hereditary lifestyle, alrighty, and that is also factored in that we talked about, okay. Over at landlinemag.com, again, is a trucker's life expectancy really 61? And this is just material that you guys can read, in your spare time, but just showing you that life insurance is very important to have. And it's sad when I speak to a lot of guys out there and they don't have any coverage. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do if something happens to you? Who's going to run your trucking company? What are you going to do with your assets? Have you even thought about this? A lot of us are just living day to day, month to month, week by week, year by year, you can't just plan on, oh, when I get 60, I'll worry about it, or 70, because it's not a guarantee, again, that you will make it to that age. So I'm wrapping up here, guys, and I'm going to share my story with you. At the age of 20, my mother suggested that, I get a life insurance policy on my daughter's father. And he was in the military. He went in the military at 17. He enrolled in the United States Army. And I believe he was about 22 at that time. I was 20, he was 22. So at the time, I told her, he's going to outlive me. I mean, he gets up every morning. He runs 5 miles a day. He eats healthy. He's going to outlive me. Well, around the age of 26, I was 26. My daughter's father was 28. He was in Germany, and he came home to work out on his treadmill in the home, and he passed out on his treadmill at the age of 28. Now, this guy gets up every day and runs 5 miles. This guy eats healthy. He just had a physical the week before. He come home, get on his treadmill, and he collapsed. And ever since then, he collapsed and he passed away at 28 years old. So a lot of times I'm speaking to truckers and I'm telling them, hey, or just anybody, not just truckers, life insurance is important. If something happens to you, think about your kids. Think about their future. Think about, making sure your kids get ahead in life, or, they can go to college, or they can start whatever type of career they want to start, and they have that financial support. Or your spouse, if you guys have a mortgage or house payment and you're the breadwinner of your household, okay, what's going to happen if something happens to you and you have kids and, with the home just going foreclosure? So, since I'm wrapping up, if you guys would like a free insurance quote, we are giving free insurance quotes. You can email us info at bumblebeedispatch.com. In the subject line, just type free insurance quote. Send us an email with your name, your full name, date of birth, your phone number, and an email address, or we can contact you. And anyone else in your household. So if you want to get a quote for your wife or your kids, even your parents, if you take care of your parents, anybody that's depending on you or anyone that you're depending on, if you would like a free quote, just send us an email. We will get that out to you. We are also looking for life insurance agents to be a part of our team. Right now, they can get started to get their license. It's only $124 to get started. You can also visit our website at www.bumblebeedispatch.com. So again, we are a one-stop shop in the trucking industry. However, we're trying to provide as many services as possible to our truckers and their families. So if you guys are interested in that quote, just send us an email. We'll get it over to you. And this is one of the most important decisions that you can make for you and your family. Alrighty? Well, you guys be safe on the road, and until my next video, see you later.